So, welcome to this video of Super Potato. I'm going to call it Super Potato number 1 because there's actually 2 Super Potato stores in Osaka that I happened to find. I'll put the location in the comment section of this video. So, walking in here, this level is all new stuff. There's nothing retro on the ground level. There still is some, if you can see up here, 360 stuff though, which is not so new. It's a generation old. Find your way up to these stairs and you'll find the retro stuff, as it says here, retro game floor. So we just make our way up the stairs. They've got some, it looks like this 8-bit music power is actually a new title made for the Famicom system. Looks pretty interesting. Can't really see anything there. My camera works a bit shoddy. Right there, I just bumped into someone. Good work. So yeah, made a beeline straight here to the Neo Geo stuff, which is what I'm interested in. Trying to get a bit of a view of some prices here for you guys. Looking around 3,700 yen. Which isn't too bad. There was 3DO stuff, and we're also looking at some music soundtracks as well. Great stuff. Back up to the Neo Geo stuff again. Yeah, Neo Geo CD. What else do we have over here? Game guides. Not sure why anyone would want to buy a game guide from Japan if you don't know Japanese. What do we got here? I think we've got Famicom stuff. Or is it 3DS? No, not 3DS. Game Boy Advance. I should know that. Looking at some Mega Man or Rockman games and the prices. It's a pretty standard title that everyone knows. Looking at about 2,800 yen. It's about, around that $30 US mark, which is pretty expensive. But what are you going to do? Final Fantasy, all the big titles. These are all boxed copies. They're always in great condition. Apparently, they rate the conditions of the games, but not knowing Japanese, I can't understand what they're talking about. But from my experience, they're always really good. I don't know if you saw just down the bottom, there was a series of Game Boy games they made for the Game Boy Advance. It was a bit of a collection, which I've bought a few titles from. Just wandering around now, having a look. It's a PC Engine, PC Duo stuff, Game Gear. Never had a Game Gear. Would have liked a Game Gear. Apparently, battery life is pretty horrible. Neo Geo Pocket. Very tempted in buying a Neo Geo Pocket. Here we go. The stuff in the cases is generally a lot more expensive and collector's type items. Metal Gear games. These are all Famicom games down here and Super Famicom games below. It's tightly packed, this store. There's so much stuff in here. And I think this is probably the smaller one of the two. Game & Watch. Pretty cool. This is what Nintendo were doing before they brought out the NES. These little Game & Watch toys. Here we go. The creme de la creme of 90s consoles. The Neo Geo. In box. Just to give you an idea. Neo Geo CD as well. I really made an effort here to get the price. So that was about 46,000 yen, which is probably around $450 US. Famicom games, heaps of Famicom unboxed, obviously, because there's no box. Can't really tell what. They're all Famicom games boxed, and this dude won't get out of my way, so I have to go back the other way. N64 on the right there. We've had a look in that little case. Here we go, here's some more cool hardware. There's the original Nintendo. There was a Master System, Sega Master System down there. I used to play that a lot when I was a kid. That was a very expensive thing. It was like 39,000 yen or $390. Once again, this guy's not going to get in my way. These shops are tiny, by the way. if you're somewhat... Oh, here we go. Super Nintendo, or Super Famicom in Japan. All boxed. Great condition. There you go. So there's a good idea of what you're paying for some of the original titles. To the Famicom Star Fox was about 29,000, or sorry, 2,900 yen. What else have we got? Squeeze through here. Oh, yep, get through. Oh, there we go. As I was saying, these shops are tiny. A lot more hardware. GameCube controllers, loose GBA games, no boxes. More hardware, Dreamcast, PCFX. Here we go. That's the original Famicom disk system. That never made it to Australia, where I come from. And there's an original family computer. Wouldn't mind picking up one of those. It's just a bit of a ornament, so to speak. Here we go. Another case with expensive stuff in here. Looking at 490,000 yen I saw there for a game. 69,000 yen for a game. It's just unbelievable what people will pay for this stuff. Mother 3, or was that Mother 2? Didn't really get a good look at that. Here you go, look at this. Here we go, here's a nice boxed Super Famicom up there. Neo Geo games down the bottom. That's one of my favourite Neo Geo games actually. But for 28,000 yen, or close to $300 US, I think I might have to skip it. And they're huge. They take up so much room in luggage. Well, they would. I've never bought one. This is pretty cool. I'm not sure what this machine is. It looks like a little Chinese pocket Mega Drive, and it's actually playing that Michael Jackson's Moonwalker game, which I used to play in the arcade, actually. Here we go, some more Game Boy Advance games, loose. Game Boy games, loose. Look, there's stuff there for about $10. That's great. Pokemon, but more hardware. Super Famicom unboxed, about 4,000 yen, which isn't too bad actually. I don't know what that was. I should have taken some of that. I'm not sure if that was for sale or not. Some more hardware to your right. There's a few boxed N64s actually, and some very yellow looking Super Famicoms. While I was there, one of the store clerks was actually de-yellowing the machine. There we go, some more Super Famicom boxed, Nintendo 64 boxed. So that's the difference. Looking at 9,300 yen for a boxed Super Famicom. I suppose, what was it, about 4,000 yen for an unboxed one. So that's the Famicom Games. Looking at about 7,000 yen for a Mario title. It's just ridiculous. I don't know who this dude is, but he's crazy. Willow. I just remember the movie from when I was a kid. I don't know if that game's any good. N64 games. This is all that Famicom stuff again. It's just everywhere. More Famicom games. Capcom stuff. It's the original Nintendo stuff without the interesting art. Looks like all these games are falling over. I probably bumped into the case with my incredible coordination. Back to this one. I've seen this one as well. There's a Game Gear. I'm very tempted. That's why I've come back. I'm not sure what most of this stuff in here is. And that's me in the background. That's great. Oh, there's a Hello Kitty Dreamcast. Whoop-de-doo. More Game Gear games. Columns. That was a great game. Not sure what that one was, but it was a girl's bum in a bikini. Back in the day when objectification of women was acceptable. yeah, more hardware. We've already seen this one. Looks like someone found a whole bunch of colour, WonderSwan colour Final Fantasy titles. Ah, there you go. The ye olde classic. If you're watching this video, you know what that game is. So yeah, there you go. That's the Super Potato 1, I think I called it. I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter what I call it because there's two. Just wanted to give everyone a bit of an idea of what you can expect if you do go down to Osaka. Obviously there's the store in Akihabara, which most people go to, but there's two stores, two Super Potato stores in... Yeah, check this out. That's that Nintendo Entertainment System, the mini one, and it was about 190 something thousand yen. Not 100% sure, don't quote me on it, but I thought retail was about 60,000. Sorry, 60,000. 60 bucks, 70 bucks, sorry, I don't know. But there's some price gouging going on there. And that's something to mention as well. There's a weird Mario plushie. Super Potato is known not to be the cheapest, but, you know, if you're a tourist and you don't have heaps of time to go and try and track down the cheaper stores off the beaten track, you're going to get what you want. And there you go. Mario, chained up. Looks like he's been held hostage.